We keep hearing all this talk about inflationary pressures, cost of living pressures, skill shortages and the like, and yet the government is still pump priming the economy. What are you going to be looking for in the budget to go and help alleviate those concerns?
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at the spending overall, I suppose, on aggregate. When it comes down to sort of really breaking things to a micro level from either an economic, social policy point of view or even sort of a micro point of view when it comes to investing, it's not something I look at too closely. But, what's really conspicuous to me from more of a macro level is that, like you said, we've got these cost pressures in the economy. And I suppose the government maybe takes a lot of us as sort of fools, I suppose, just to assume that, handing money to us to go and spend will be, a quick fix and a permanent fix as well, which, obviously anyone who's done a little bit of economics knows is that if you put money in people's pockets to spend, that's going to increase demand in an environment of very constrained supply. It's going to continue to push up prices. I think for me, what's really notable is that we're going to see this kind of fiscal policy being applied on the one side, but what it's probably going to lead to is tighter monetary policy on the other side, which brings about all sorts of other risks for asset markets, puts more upward pressure on the Australian dollar too, which might be a positive thing in terms of obviously bringing some of those price pressures down. But if you look at the cash rate futures curves, we've got the December contract predicting a cash rate that'll be around 1.8% in December. So that's about 6 rate hikes. So we've got this cash splash. Maybe just a bit of vote buying for the federal poll. It might have a little bit of a boost, a sugar hit to the economy in the short term. Maybe for households, it'll provide a little bit of reprieve in the short term. But ultimately, it's inflationary, and I think the rates markets are reflecting that. And again, it sort of adds fuel to what is a very precarious situation, because we know, just like what we were talking about before in the United States, that these, any situation that's going to add to an economy potentially running too hot makes for a very unstable economy, which is prone to a little bit of a bust in the longer term.